Well, hello, loves. Thank you so much for stopping back at my channel to see what's up over here. If this is your first visit to my YouTube channel, thank you. I appreciate you for stopping by, and I hope that you'll enjoy my videos and that you'll keep coming back for more. If you like my videos, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up, but most importantly, support your girl on this wonderful journey to share my voice, share my opinions, share my thoughts, share some laughs, share some tears, and keep it fucking real about all kinds of topics. And subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button and support your girl on this journey. Today is a video you do not want to miss because today we're talking about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and, well, not you and me, but yeah, sex in general. So let's get right to the start here. I want to talk about sex and relationships because I'm 50 years young. And in my journey of sex and relationships, I have taken it all in. I have observed, I have felt, I have experienced, I have talked about, I have gotten in my feelings, I have gossiped with my friends, I've had conversations with past husbands, past boyfriends, random men, male friends, and I have a whole lot to say on the subject. Now, little disclaimer. I am no expert here on anything relationship and sex related, but I'm entitled to my opinions, and I think that it's great when people can have open conversation around this topic because I think a lot of people just want to know and just want to talk about it and just want to hear what other people think. And although there are a lot of men and women who talk very openly and are very comfortable doing so, when it comes to sex and relationships, there are a whole lot of people who aren't comfortable, who can't talk about it with their significant other or their partner, can't talk about it with their parents, and don't even talk about it with their friends for whatever reason. So I want to talk about it. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you will find, let's back up. I'm hoping by the end of this video that I will have planted a seed in you of curiosity, if you don't already feel the way I feel, which you'll realize when I get into it, but that I've planted a seed of curiosity in you to really dig deep to understand what it is that you want out of sex. What do you want out of sexual intercourse, foreplay, physical contact? What do you want out of it going into that act of sex? What do you want from the act of sex? And what do you want afterwards? Now, I don't even know the word to use, but the main point, the main reason, I guess you could say, that I want to talk about sex is because I, as you know, if you've been watching my videos or if you're following me on any of my social media, it is obvious that you can see that I am on an extremely spiritual journey. And in this awakening that I've had, and in this spiritual journey, I have realized a lot about my own sexuality and a lot about the feelings I've had in my own sexual encounters and a lot about the meaning and meaningfulness of spiritual sex versus casual sex. God, my watch is driving me crazy. Sorry. Casual sex, in my opinion, is what most people are having. And even if they're married and they only have sex with each other, I still feel that most committed couples are having what I'd like, for lack of a better term, what I'd like to call casual sex. Now, there's a difference between casual sex between two committed parties, two committed people, and casual sex amongst people that have sex with multiple partners. Clearly, we all know what the difference is, okay? But the reason I'm going to use the term casual is because I feel it's disconnected. Maybe I should just call it disconnected sex. But I like the term casual better, so I'm going to stick with it. Sex is, how can I put it? Sex is the purest form of creative energy. Sex is an act where, to get, in my opinion, to get the most out of it, you need to release your ego. You need to let go of your ego. You need to, like they say, just let go, let loose, free yourself. When you actually fully let go during sex and you're able to communicate openly and freely about what you like, what you don't like, how you feel, it goes to another level. But the main point of this video is just to really showcase and share the differences between casual sex and intimate, connected, spiritual sex, the experience. Because casual sex, in my opinion, is not an experience. It's a temporary physical moment. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a physical moment. There's a word right there. I can't think of it. Fix. It's a temporary physical fix. And there's nothing beyond that. You get your rocks off and you're done and you move on. Some people have a cigarette. Some people take a shower. Some people take a piss. Some people leave, whatever. Some people turn the TV on. But when you have a connection with someone and you have a physical, sexual, spiritual experience, it is an experience. Now, I will say that to say this. My entire life, my entire past has all been pretty much casual sex. So how can I talk about the experience of spiritual sex? Because up until now, I have now recently been able to start experiencing spiritual connected sex. And it is mind-blowing. And what it does is it puts you in a position where if you can't have a spiritual, sexual, connected experience, you actually don't really want to have sex. Now, this is coming from someone with a big sex drive. Here's the deal. And that won't happen for everyone. I mean, I'm just going to always use my experience, or if I have someone else on here that wants to share theirs, great. And one day we'll do that. But right now it's me, myself, and I. So the truth is, well, there are a lot of factors for me because I'm 50. I've gone through menopause. Shit in your body changes, your hormones change. And so the sex drive is different. Even if you do have a really high sex drive after menopause, there's painful sex, there's changes in your body, and you have to be observant of all that. And you have to be aware of what you can and can't do and how you can still prepare yourself, mind, body, and spirit for a pain-free, connected, good sexual experience. Even if you are going to opt for the casual sex rather than the spiritual experience, if you are post-menopause or going through menopause, I think the other women out there that can attest to the fact that the act of sex changes. And it's different for everyone, but for most people that I've spoken to that are post-menopause, as I am, the whole process changes. It's not just the body that changes, it's truly the mind and you can still have a high sex drive, but it's just a different thing. I can't explain it, but you'll know when you get there. So then you can reference back to this and watch it. But anyway, the body changes. So part of the sexual, spiritual experience is that, ladies and gents, you need to be aware of your body. You need to look at your body. You need to explore your body manually, look in the mirror, touch it, get to know it, be personal with it. If, I'm just going to throw it out there. If you haven't looked at your dick and your pussy, you need to. You need to, because it's the most personal part of you, and you are literally becoming one with the most personal part of another human being when you are in the act of sex. And that is an energy exchange that is off the charts, number one. But number two, it's an energy exchange that takes on each other's energy. If you don't care about that, that's on you. I have never been one to have multiple sex partners, and I never will. Have I experienced or experimented with certain things here and there and dabbled in things and tried things? Sure, I have. And I have no problem admitting that. But my choice, my desire is to have a monogamous relationship and have a connection and a spiritual, sexual, intimate experience. And if I don't know my body well enough and I don't get to know my partner's body well enough, and we don't communicate about what we both want and desire enough, that experience is not going to happen. And I want it to happen for everyone. I want it to keep happening for me. We live in a world of huge casual sex, random sex, casual sex, multiple partners, cheating, all kinds of stuff. Multiple wives, multiple husbands. So I think that's called polygamy. There's all kinds of things. So there are certain things that are people's choices. Certain things I think are religious based and you have no choice. My point is, I'm not here to judge what anyone does, okay? So if you are someone that just likes being single, you like to date, you like to have random partners, cool. Do you, boo? But if you are someone like me that wants one partner and wants a regular, fulfilling sex life, then that's cool too. And or if you're someone that wants to have 5 wives or have an open relationship where there's open communication and loyalty, meaning you both know about what you're each doing and there's full transparency, cool. And again, if you don't have that, I'm not here to judge, but I'll just say that, there will come a time when the karma of your choices, whatever those choices are, will hit you and you won't even realize why. And then when you go and dig deep and think about it, then you might figure it out. But that's not what we're here to talk about, karma. We'll do that in another video though, because karma is real. But anyway, sex is energy. Intimacy is energy. Intimacy and love, and that mix of love and connectedness and spirituality and connection of mind, body, and spirit with another human being, in my personal opinion, is the ultimate gratification, the ultimate blessing, and it's the ultimate display of the deepest part and level of love that there is. Now, when it comes to spiritual sex and comparing it to casual sex is very ego-based. If you're just moving in on someone, man or woman, and the goal is to get off and please someone or be pleased, it's all ego. If you are having sex with multiple partners on the regular, or that just happens to be your choice, and whenever you can, you're just with whoever happens to be available, there's no way and there's no time and there's no chance of being truly connected to that person. And maybe you don't want to be. So again, I'm not here to judge. Maybe you don't want to be connected. Maybe you want that life of, I like the pleasure. I like the moment of the pleasure. The physical pleasure is fucking amazing. And I get it. I totally understand and agree. And maybe that's all that you want. Maybe that's all you can handle. Maybe that's all you're capable of. Maybe that's all you want. Again, I don't know, and I'm not here to judge. But if you ever get the opportunity, if you ever truly love and care about the person that you're with, the partner that you have, or one of the partners that you have, and you want to experience sex in the most deepest, spiritual, connected way, then you really should lose the ego, let go of all inhibitions, and get to know that person's body, their scent, their movements, their sounds, their aura, their energy, and allow them to get to know yours and truly connect. One of the biggest ways that I feel there is major connection in sex is through eye contact. So if you're with a partner or you are the partner that just wants to get in the back and get it over with, and however you do that, fast, slow, whatever, and be done, and there's no eye contact, well, then that's not ever going to be connected sex for you. And again, it's okay. I hate to keep saying that, but I just want people to understand that we all have our preferences. I'm here talking about mine and knowing that there are other people out there who feel like I do, that want a really connected spiritual sexual experience, both men and women. And maybe they think they've had it, or they know they haven't and they really want it. And maybe me talking about it so openly will shed some light on this subject that, like I said, that so many people just won't talk about, and it'll help them to work towards having that experience themselves. The eye contact is so huge. When you are in the act and you can look at each other and hear each other and taste and smell and feel each other all at the same time, that is like the highest high ever. And there are so many times in my sexual past where I thought I was having very connected sex. I don't even want to say spiritual, because there was a time I didn't really know of that back then. Like I didn't consciously know what the spiritual connection and all the spirituality stuff was. Even though I was semi living in it and moving towards it and learning it, I wouldn't have been able to put that label on it. But I have felt in my past, when I'm being made love to, or when I'm making love to someone that I love, that I want eye contact. So back then I wouldn't have known, why do I want eye contact? Why does that turn me on so much? Why do I desire that so much? Why do I want the man who is literally inside of my body looking directly into my face, into my eyes, and focusing on me? But now I know why. And it's huge. And have I had great sex in the past? Of course. I mean, again, it's a physical moment, a physical fix. It's a physical moment of bliss. And unless you're with someone that's just a total turnoff for one reason or another, I would have to imagine the sex is good. You have to let go of so many things, not just your ego, if you want connected sex. Because most of the time, especially if you're my age, most, if not all of the people that you're going to have a sexual encounter with have had other sexual encounters. So you can't get in your head about, I wonder if I'm as good as she was, or I wonder if I'm better than she was or than they were, or I wonder if he did this with her or made that sound or said that thing. If you are laying wherever or standing or leaning or bending over from wherever and in the act of sex and you're thinking all of those things, I'm sorry for you. But it's not going to be a connected sexual experience. It's going to be a moment of physical bliss and a moment of misery at the same time. Because I can't imagine enjoying the act of sex while worrying about if my body's jiggling too much, if I'm better than the last person, if my pussy's is tight, if I'm wet enough. I mean, you have to get out of your head. And it's really hard to do. So I'm not saying, you obviously see I'm very transparent and very bold, and I don't care. I'm being raw and R-rated, but this is reality, guys. If you can't talk about your pussy and your dick and what you like and what you don't like and be open about things like that, the shit's never going to be a mind-blowing, erotic, amazing experience. And I just wanted to talk about this because it's such an eye-opening thing for me, being a 50-year-old woman post-menopause who's actually in the process right now of struggling through a healthy sex life because of my body changes and my hormone changes. And at the same time, a 50-year-old woman who just went through a massive weight loss and transformation where I feel sexier today than I have ever before in my life. I feel more beautiful inside and out. I desire sex more than I ever have. I'm absolutely attracted to my man more than I've been attracted to men of my past. So I desire the act of sex so much more. And it's just, I think it's really important that women and men are able to understand each other and what they're going through and what the body's going through. You know, when we are spiritually connected with ourselves, when we're spiritually in tune, I should say, if you're attempting to have sex that's spiritually connected with a partner, whether it's someone you love, you like, you know, it's a friend with benefits, whatever the case, there may come a time when you can't even have sex. If you're a man, you may not be able to get an erection. If you're a woman, you may not get wet. It may be very painful outside of the menopausal stuff. And what that means is your body is energetically rejecting the partner. That's real shit. That's real talk. Your body is rejecting your partner because something is not aligned, and you are in a very spiritual realm of energy and you are craving spiritually connected sex, but the other person is not where you are, is not interested in that same type of stuff, or is not aware of that, and the connection is not there. The alignment is not there. He or she is off in a space and a place, and you're in a true energetic, connected mindfulness around your desires, the feeling of your body, the aroma in the room, just everything. So there can be an experience where your body will reject that person, or your body won't perform. Your body won't be able to get into the mood to have sex. So that's another thing that you should be really aware of. And there's a lot of stuff online about it. You can talk to your doctor about it. When it comes to the menopausal symptoms, the sad reality is that a woman's vagina gets thinner, it gets tighter, and no, men, not for your additional pleasure. It's excruciatingly painful for your partner if these hormonal changes are happening and she isn't addressing them. Sex can be so excruciating that, number one, you don't want it as much because you're scared of the feeling of it hurting. And number two, the actual act of sex is so excruciating, and the body and the vagina is so thin, the skin is so thin and sensitive that the skin will actually tear and bleed. And I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible, and I've experienced it. It's not fun. And so you have to deal with that too. And obviously when things like that happen, and your head is in, oh my God, is it going to hurt? Oh my God, am I going to get wet enough? Oh my God, whatever. You can use 10 pounds of lube, and it still doesn't change the fact that if your anatomy is changing and thinning and tightening, it very well may be very fucking painful. And so again, you have to address that stuff, but you can't be in your head about all that. So there's preparation, there's discussion and communication that has to happen with your partner before you lay down together. And if you aren't in a position, if you're just having casual sex with random people, or a date here and a date there, typically those discussions are not going to happen. You're not going to sit down and talk about your vagina changing with the dude that you have sex with once a month, or you just picked up at a bar and you're taking him home. So good luck with that. For people that have regular multiple partners, again, I don't know that you'll have those discussions. You may not. And there's a whole other side of multiple partners that, safe sex and diseases and pregnancies and all of that. And I'm not going to talk about those on this video, but we'll talk about those at another time. But there's just no way that you can have spiritually connected sex and a spiritual orgasm, which is completely different from a non-spiritual orgasm. Okay, many of us can orgasm from manual stimulation, from oral stimulation, and or from sexual intercourse. Many of us cannot have all of those types of orgasms. And there are very deep-rooted reasons why, which I will not go into on this video. We'll talk about that on another video. But if you are someone having multiple sex partners, you have no clue what it's like to have a spiritual orgasm, and I can tell you just from the research I've done that it sounds like it's fucking mind-blowing. It's a full body experience. And that's my goal. Because I am in such a spiritual awakened place, and that's something that I want to achieve. Add to my situation, again, just talking about me so that I can share with others that may be in my type of situation, but add to my menopause and my age, that I have sexual trauma from my past. I was sexually abused by a relative from age 2 to age 7. And that set the course and paved the way for my belief of sex and my belief of my body. And whether we consciously know it or not, I go from 7 years old and that abuse stopped, and jump and fast forward to age 50 and all the relationships between then and now. And I can promise and assure you that every one of my sexual relationships has been affected in one way or another because of that sexual trauma and my thoughts on my body and my thoughts about, being in my head on what is the man thinking, and why does he want to be with me? Why does he really desire me? Does he love me because he wants to have sex with me? So again, there are so many factors that play a part in the act of sex. But I want to do this video and bring awareness to both types of sex: casual sex, random partners, multiple partners, monogamous casual sex with one partner, as opposed to monogamous spiritual sex. And the reason why the spiritual sex only is labeled as only labeled as monogamous spiritual sex is because, in my opinion, and I'm no expert here, in my opinion and in my research, there's no way in hell you are going to have a spiritually connected sexual experience, the whole experience, if you are fucking multiple people. You can have physical pleasure. It can be off the charts amazing. You can get off and feel like you just blew the hair off your head because the orgasm was so intense. That's all great. But from what I'm reading, from what I'm learning, from what I'm feeling and being pulled to and desiring myself, there is no other sexual experience on earth than that of a spiritually connected sexual intercourse. And not just the intercourse itself, but the foreplay and the passion and the action and the affection leading up to it. I remember I dated a guy a long time ago, like 20-something years, and it was zero foreplay. And I was so attracted to this man, like unbelievably hot, gorgeous, beautiful, perfect body, weightlifter, just fucking hot. And I thought the sex was good then. Now, when I'm looking back, it was not good, but I thought it was. But there was no foreplay. Like, he didn't touch me too much. I think maybe we kissed. I can't even really remember. But like, he didn't explore my body. He didn't sniff me, like go in my neck and my chest and take in my scent. He didn't caress me. He didn't move my hair, touch my, it's like what I knew then and what I know now. I would never want that type of relationship again. I want to be desired. I want to be touched. We should all want to be touched and desired and explored fully. So if the partner you're with has not explored your body or doesn't explore your body, or there is no foreplay and you just jump in the sack and either throw some lube on or not and get right to the act, that sucks. I'll be honest, and I feel bad for you. I feel bad for myself if that would happen to me. But you got to have some kind of foreplay and sex because, again, that's all part of the connection. Even with casual sex, I don't know. I'm sure that inexperienced or maybe experienced people that just don't know any other way, they think that is the bomb.com sex. But I'm here to tell you, public service announcement, you're missing out. Like, you're truly missing out. So yeah, just wanted to get all that out there, give you some food for thought. Think about what type of sex you're currently having or not. Think about what you really want. Think about elevating in growing into a better sexual experience. So in life, if you're transforming and you have goals to lose weight or gain weight or make some kind of aesthetic change or have personal growth and more abundance in your life, and just you're in a transformation mode and path right now, don't forget about intimacy and affection and sex. Because intimacy and affection and sex tie in with love, and we all deserve that journey and that feeling at some point in our life before our life expires. And so I have to throw it out there. And there's a lot of people that choose to be single and they probably don't have any sex life, or maybe they do, I don't know. But if you are a person who has a sex drive, who wants an intimate relationship or is in one, even if you aren't in one now and you desire to have one, speak of those things, speak it into existence, because I think it's really a beautiful thing if you can have that. It's all a part of this journey. And I feel like the full package of the life experience, it's not just about making great money, having nice things, having a healthy body and a physically fit body, and being internally happy and at peace. If you have all that and you don't have a healthy, beautiful, soulful, spiritual, sensual, delicious sex life, then in my opinion, we're missing out on that. Truly missing out. So aspire to have that along with all these other things. And I hope that some of this, all of it, some of it or all of it struck a chord with you and has you thinking about the type of sex life that you have, and if it really is fulfilling for you and you're okay with that. And if it is, cool, stay in your lane. Who am I to tell you to change your habits, right? But for those of you that wonder, those of you that just like to talk about sex because it's something you don't typically talk about, I'm here to share, fully transparent and raw, and just throw it out there that it's something that is really important in the big scheme of life and the life experience. So on that note, here's another long ass video for you, but I hope you stayed tuned, and I'm sure the title got people, whether they stayed tuned to watch the whole thing. I don't know. I don't care. Whoever did, if it's for you, great. If it's not, that's okay too. But it was something I really felt inclined to talk about because it's something that's in my own journey of life right now. And I like to talk about everything and anything that I think people may be curious about or hesitant to talk about or ask questions on. So on that note, we will have many more videos about sex and the whole sex experience, because I think it's such an important aspect of life. And I just wish you all a very healthy, happy, physically amazing sexual experience at some point or another when the time happens. No rush, but just aspire to have it because I think it's really important. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this video. So, love you all. Thank you so much for sticking with me for 33 minutes and 21 seconds. And until next time, peace out.